Hi, this is Islamic Dad here. If you enjoy this channel, please subscribe. I was hoping that I would have a tripod for Christmas, but I guess I was naughty this year or something. I'll have to go find myself one. I wanted to do a video on the end of the relationship and kind of how to handle that and kind of those dynamics coming from different angles. So one of the most common questions, if you just Google narcissist and see what's being asked, one of the most common questions is, how do I hurt the narcissist? How do I utterly destroy them? And it's kind of a silly question, but let's be honest, and I think I've probably said this in previous videos. The like the quick answer is you ghost them. You end the relationship abruptly. The more abruptly, the better, or the worse, depending on if you're the narcissist. And you go immediately, no contact across the board. This will, utterly just devastate, utterly destroy the narcissist, because they were not the ones to do it to you. They were obviously not expecting it. If they're in a relationship with you of whatever kind. This has been my experience, and I think other narcissists or other people can confirm this. Narcissists, their brain just doesn't work right. It doesn't work the same way that normal people's does. So one of the things that normal people will do is that they will gauge how another person maybe thinks about them. Like, okay, to what extent are they attracted to me? To what extent do they feel close to me as far as like friendship, whatever. Like there's gradients there. I don't think narcissists do that, because they do stupid crap all the time. A narcissist, they're notorious for just taking their supply and people in their circle and their partner and target and stuff for granted. They're just like, no, you're always going to be there. I don't, why it's either you're in or you're out. There's no in between. There's no gray or anything like that. Psychologically speaking, I think this has to do with that weird narcissist thing where they view people as objects. And so once they, which even I hate that terminology. Basically, they categorize people and everyone. So they're not individuals. They are people that I've placed into these categories. So friend, partner, current supply, potential supply. That they don't see people as individuals that just kind of do their own thing. They're just in these little boxes, these little categories. And so once they've put you into that little box and said, oh, that my partner, that person is my partner, therefore they will always be there. They don't have any autonomy, and they will only do what I want them to do, because they're like little toys, and that's how narcissists see other people. And so where I'm going with that is that, so if the narcissist sees you as this object that they just stick in a box, and you break off the relationship, or you leave them, or you just go, no contact, you ghost them, that the narcissist feels like they got hit by a truck. It catches them completely off guard, because in their mind, they're thinking, okay, that's not even possible. Why would my toy suddenly decide on its own to go do something else. I mean, it's incomprehensible to the narcissist. And so that's another reason why, if you want to really hurt a narcissist, leave them, go no contact, because it will hit them like a freight train. And the other part, or another reason of why that hurts them so much more than, say, the same situation with a normal person, is that the narcissist, again, going back to like the object relation or whatever, that they view everything in terms of control. And when you've left the relationship, that's control that you have that they don't. When you go no contact after leaving, that is control that you have that they don't. And what kind of makes it doubly worse for the narcissist is that they wanted to be the one. They wanted to be the one who ended the relationship. They wanted to be the one who went no contact. And so, not only do they have like the initial pain of you doing these things to them, but then the narcissist is just seething in fury, anger, and resentment because you did to them what they were going to do to you at some point in the future. So basically, you have the power, you have the control, and that is the bread and butter of the narcissist, except now you're making toast. So, that's one part. And so that would be one way to hurt the narcissist, I think, much more than any other way that I can think of. I know that there's like kind of like a part two to this where, the advice that you'll hear, and I'll give it too, is live your best life. To the extent that you can, just put the narcissist in the past. Look forward. Build your new life. Thrive. Write that novel you've been thinking about. Start eating healthy. Go to the gym. Reach out to your friends that you haven't lately that you've been thinking of. Go take that vacation that you've been dreaming of. Just go do all this stuff that you've really been wanting to, that you haven't had a chance to because you've been like dealing with the insanity of the narcissist. Go live your best life. And I know that people say, oh, well, if the narcissist sees you living your best life, it's going to hurt them so badly and stuff. I don't know. I don't necessarily, it'll hurt them, but nothing like feeling that you've stolen power and control from them. And again, no contact is definitely the best way to hurt a narcissist. And again, no contact means no contact. It means no, emails, no texts, no social media, unfriend them, block them, everything. Do not, and that's the thing, if you leave one spot for them to contact you, they probably will. So don't. And the thing is, narcissists are so vain. If they like, oh, well, they haven't blocked me on this social media platform, therefore they still want me. And they'll create this whole narrative in their mind to make themselves feel better and stuff. But definitely no contact if you want to hurt them. You should be living your best life to the extent that you can after exiting the relationship anyways. If it hurts the narcissist, that's a nice bonus. So flipping this around, and this is kind of what why I wanted to make this video specifically, is that the narcissist understands how painful no contact is. And I know that, people talk about, hoovering all the time. And I understand that. But at the same time, there's a large number of narcissists who will never hoover. Let me rephrase that. Or I'm sorry, repeat that. There are a large number of narcissists that will never hoover you. So if you're waiting for this hoover, I don't know, make yourself lunch, sit down in front of the TV, put on something good because it's going to be a while. That is to say, there are plenty of narcissists that will hoover you that, a month later, they're like, oh, I forgot that book that was at your house. Can I just come by and pick up that book because it's, really important to me? I've heard it. I mean, that was a trick that my ex-wife would do. So my ex-girlfriend, though, was the opposite, where she was one of those types of narcissists that was like, okay, weaponized no contact. It was, I'm going to be the one to initiate no contact first before you can do it. And I'm going to do it as dramatically and as loudly and as emphatically as possible. And again, within a matter of minutes, it just was like blocked on, unfriended, unconnected on all social media, blocked on everything. All the old, photos from, trips, camping, concerts, boom, deleted, nuked, just eradicated, blocked, just everywhere. Anything that you can think of. And if or if there's a situation where I reached out to them and said, hey, you owe me money for the property you damaged. Crickets. And it's like, okay, well, we can play that game too, but that's the thing, is like, she and I'm, and I'll just say, like, the type of narcissists that do this, they understand they are doing it not for their own health. They are doing it because they want to hurt you. They're like, okay, you're gonna leave me? No, I'm gonna hurt you. Even though you're the one that left me, I'm gonna do no contact before you can, so that you're hurt. Again, like, even after a breakup, the power and control games don't really stop. They just kind of change, new games. And so I would be very aware of that. And so that if you are currently in a romantic relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, or you have a relationship with, like, sister, sibling, your children, parents, grandparents, or whatever, and you're like thinking about how to navigate exiting, you need to take all this into consideration, or you're going to get caught off guard. And again, that's kind of why I'm saying these things and making this video, kind of coming at this from different angles, is because if you say you have, like, a narcissistic parent, you've had enough abuse, you see how incredibly toxic they are. You've tried setting boundaries, nothing is working, and you have finally come to the realization that you need to exit that relationship with, say, the toxic parent. At that point, you need to think, like, okay, they're gonna be hurt, and they're gonna lash out at me. And so you need to be aware of that beforehand and say, okay, when I break things off with the parent, I need to go immediately no contact. I mean, maybe even if, simultaneously, like maybe block them on everything and then immediately just say, look, you're an abusive parent. I mean, this is me. I mean, I'm seriously, I've done this. So went to my mother many, 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 many years ago and said, look, you are, an abuser. You're toxic. You are a negative force in my life, and you bring nothing positive. So for my own mental and emotional health, I am cutting you out of my life. I wish you well. I hope you have a good rest of your life, but do not contact me under any circumstances. And and again, that's what I did, but I'm just saying, like, it might be a situation like that for you, and then just immediately block them on all social media, your phone, and you already know what's going to happen. They're going to reach out to the siblings, Aunt Sue, Uncle Jeff, and you're going to hear it, and you're probably going to get this distorted version where by the time it comes back to you, you're the bad guy and they're the victim. You know it, but in the end, it's the right thing to do because you have to take care of yourself. So, but again, I just want to make sure that when you do these things, you understand what's coming, and also you understand that if you go halfway, the narcissist is going to lash out and come right back at you. So if you start doing like a soft breakup or a soft end, of a relationship with, sibling or something like that, they're going to, once they realize that the gig is up, they're going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. And so you might be mid-sentence being like, yeah, I just, things have not been going well, and I don't think that we get along the way that we should, and stuff like that. And you might be mid-sentence, and they're like, they're just like, okay, I'm blocking you on everything. I'm ghosting you. I can't, bye. I'm going to go, continue the smear campaign. Because, that's what they do. And so, unfortunately, it limits your options for how you handle the end of a relationship with any type of narcissist, because there's not a lot of tools in the toolbox that function well. You literally are left with only one, two, maybe three choices. Basically, just cut them off, block them, ghost them, and then just, sit back, have your favorite drink, your pet next to you, your comfy blanket, and just wait for the smear campaign, and just know that that's, that will come. It's guaranteed. And so, if you want, you can kind of preemptively talk to, friends, family, whomever about that. But I don't see how that works. I mean, honestly, I think the best way to deal with a smear campaign is to just be a good person and not even acknowledge what the narcissist says, really. And so if the narcissist says, oh, blah, 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 just say, yeah, I'm a villain. Okay, what do you want to do for lunch? Just don't pay it any heed or anything, because, I don't know if this is like a real saying or not, but it feels like a real saying. Only the guilty feel the need to defend themselves. For me, I would tell people when some of the smear campaign stuff would come around, I'd say the nice thing is about the truth is that you don't have to defend it. And it doesn't change week by week, month by month. And so I'm not going to defend or, even acknowledge anything that you said, because the truth is the truth is the truth. So just believe what you want. I'm going to go have a beer. And, and that seemed to work well for me. The vast majority of friends in my social circle came over to my side. And because, again, it's like if you have one person who's just like, truth is the truth, and I'm going to go have a beer, and, I'm going to go dancing or something like that. And then you have another person foaming at the mouth, just doing this horrible smear campaign. It kind of backfires for a lot of people, because they can, as dumb as a lot of people are, I think most actually do see through the smear campaign. Most. Not all, but most. So yeah, I think I've gone through like the no contact from the, from the narcissist side, no contact from, your side, dealing with the repercussions, best way to handle exiting a relationship, and kind of knowing what's going to be, coming after that. But yeah, I just thought it'd be good to make a video on this, because I don't think that I'd really laid out things, from that perspective, especially, what's involved ending a relationship, the right way to do it, and what can you expect once you do that. So hopefully this has been helpful. Thanks.